my son stopped at my house on his way down to a summit meeting in Santa Cruz with the rope partner, the company that he works for that does
And for those of you that need a genealogy lesson, the reason I'm Michael's uncle is because his dad, Dave, was my big brother. You know, nothing but happiness from this day forward.
Which is Nick. Everybody I talk to from Minnesota says Nick. So Michael has had some flaws because I realized most of you guys, sorry guys, have some flaws. Raise your hand if you have a flaw. Yeah. But Michael's perfect.
There are quite a few people here, obviously. There you go. There we go. So quite a few people here who know Mike from the sailing. Anyway, there are quite a few of us who sailed with Mike, and I'm sure you may have read the book. I had so many witty things to say. The story that I would like to tell is that one of the fabulous stories, we hiked up Adams Peak, which is a 10-hour hike in Sri Lanka, and so we get to the top. We have to leave very early in the morning, I think 4:30, 4 a.m. something, to get to the top. So we all get to the top, and I'm a sailor, and I used to own a logging truck. Mike decides he needs to take a shit. So Mike gets into the bush, and sorry, Jess. So Mike gets into the bush, and all of a sudden does his business, and all of a sudden Chris and I are standing kind of outside, and we hear, Mike kind of freaking out a bit.
Oh my God, I got a leech in my eye!
No, he didn't know he had a leech in his eye. He came out, he wondered what
the leech
was happening in his eye. Turns out it's a leech. It's this tiny little leech. So we're thinking, do we piss in his eye? Do we pour some Sprite in his eye? Like, what do we do? But of course, me being a woman, I have tweezers. We're 10 hours at the top of a mountain. I've got tweezers. Okay, so we pick up we can pick that leech up, and we can see the suction cups on the. It's not good. It's not good. We don't know what to do. Mike, who's the trooper, always says it's fine. I'm gonna hike down another 10 hours. It's fine. It's good. So we get to the bottom, and we run into randomly this doctor, who the Sri Lankan doctor, who says, well, in all actuality, that's how we remove cataracts.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Mike had a very bloody eye, sadly. Anyway, a million stories. At the end of the day, Chris would like to add to that because it carries on, and he will. Sorry, I cry.
Oh, holy cow. You got it, Nicole.
I'm Chris. Traveled here yesterday from Western Australia for a few years. Holy shit. And it was a last minute thing. Not last minute wanting to come, like as soon as Nicole told me, I'm like, oh, there's nowhere in the world that I'd rather be. I love this guy, like a brother. We spent a year living in each other's pockets in a small confined space, and you get to know someone, you get to love them, you get to appreciate them, and you get to hate certain aspects of them as well. That's all right. I got a lot of shit aspects. I'm probably the worst one. It scares me a lot. Anyway, I love you, Mike. There's one thing I just wanted to say, I would have moved mountains to get here, and pretty much 72 hours ago I did. I had a business which is in a bit of trouble, and I was like, if I leave right now, things aren't good. But I woke up on Wednesday morning, which is your Tuesday night, and I'm like, man, I've got to be there. I have to be there.
I sent him a nasty email to him.
And she did. I was like, still to this day. You know why I love that? Is because no matter what, I haven't seen Mike 15 years until we got here yesterday. Those moments tell me what that guy is.
That's right.
It's nothing but happiness, nothing but smiles.
You can cry, it's okay.
Yeah. Anyway, you will never know how many lives you've changed, Mike, because of the person you are. You're an amazing human being. I'm not the only grateful one. I know we have a table of sailors over here. You're an amazing human being. Meg, you also. It's like I said, I look forward to knowing you, and you two will weather the storm as well, and congratulations. So happy for you both.
Cheers. And if you can put up the mic, then you're a good son.
As you know, your cousin James, I would say to him every time he left the house during his high school years, be good, have fun, and be safe. And I figured I did my fatherly duties. To you, I just want to say, have fun. Yeah. Take care.
Started going away to camp, and the camp just got longer and longer, and she's changing. She's just like, I can do this, I can do this, I'm going to do that sort of thing. And she ends up, well, we're going to Hudson's Bay. We're going to canoe from Minnesota to Hudson's Bay. And I will break the story that you were the first person from the camp to actually lose a canoe. You last saw it wrapped around a rock, and then it went downstream somewhere, but that had the radio, half of their food, the shotgun for polar bears, and so then there were 6 of them in 2 canoes going up to Hudson's Bay, and then eventually they broke into a cabin, and from there they were able to call and get hauled out of there. They were flying out of Hudson's Bay anyways. But that's been consistent, and it happened with running through forest fires or going up to Alaska. And Mike, you're the right guy. And so now you guys are joining. So you found somebody, Megan, that you can make a path with, that the path will really make a lot of sense. And you can be adventuresome, and you can do broad things across the world. And so to Mike and Megan, let's raise our glasses. Let's go.
Through the Rolodex, you think through who your close friends are, and old world. But like when you really, like you need somebody to count on, you need to get through a tough time. Like in kind of my world, like I would want to reach out to Mike. And like I see, like with Megan's background and like her sense of adventure, and like I kind of know Mike's philosophies and kind of what he's thinking, and she just kind of perfectly like weaved right into that. And so now, like when shit hits the fan, it's like they're the couple to call. And so I think much of that is they've chosen like a different path in life, and so many of us just kind of follow like a particular path. And so kind of like cheers to like finding an alternative path, taking chances, taking risks, and they just like have embraced that. And so all of us, like from tonight, that's kind of the learning lesson moving forward, and you guys are the best. Thank you.
And the other thing I'd like to say is that, we came here yesterday, first time we met Mike, didn't know any of his friends, family, but that get together, rather than going to a rehearsal dinner where everybody sits in their own little spot and goes home, we all mingled at their cabin, and we feel like we know so many of you now, and it's like we're just one big family, and that's to you guys' credit. And we're just very happy for both of you. Meg, you're one of our favorites, and Mike, I think you will be too. Like I said to Mike, you come to Minnesota and I'll cook you some dead cow. So all the best to both of you. We love you.
I'm that friend. So I've known Mike for about 10 years, a little after I met my guy. And honestly, after hanging out for many, many years with Mike and Adam, it was almost this team of 3. Honestly, it was this 2 against 1. 2 strong guys against 1 woman. We went sailing together on our boat. And it was always this, like, in the back of my head, I was always like, where is that dream woman of mine? Not Mike's, but of mine. And then Megan came. It was a dream come true. So I've always admired Mike like a brother. I see, don't make me cry, don't look at me. I'm gonna start, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna try to be that strong girl. But I have always seen Mike Dugan as a brother that I've always wanted. And he is. And Megan came into his life. And I was like, who is this girl? And then I hear she's a dog musher from Alaska. And I thought, like, I was a strong chick, and then I meet her, and I was like, oh, complacent. I was, oh God, that makes me right? Mind you, like Nicole, I had some drinks tonight too, so you're welcome. So I meet Megan, and I'm thoroughly impressed. I'm like, this is the strongest woman I think I've ever met. But she has a grace about her, not just this physical strength, but she has a grace when she speaks to you. She makes you feel important. She focuses on you. You are important in the conversation. And don't. And I remember this one conversation, and I have stories, but like, oh, just a little feedback here. My boyfriend and I live in Tahoe, and we all hang out, and, you know, party together, go out to dinner, kayak. And I remember hanging out with Megan, and, you know, I'm asking her, you know, what's dog mushing? Because I'm a Californian. We don't know what that is. We're like, what's mushing? What are you mushing? And she tells me her story, and I remember Mike trying to tell me what mushing was. And she went, no, honey, I got this. You don't tell my story, I tell my story. And I remember going, ooh, someone put Dugan in his. Ooh, she's spicy. I like her. I love her. And I just saw this strength and again grace in her, and I was just like, oh my God, my dreams have come true. Sorry to make it about me, but I was just like, I have found a woman that's gonna have my back in any argument with these two men. Yeah, right? And I was just like, and no joke, you guys, she's had my back ever since. So I'm sorry, Mike, I love you. You're my brother. Seriously, you truly are the brother I've always wanted. But hands down, yeah, I mean, you have great, you know, like, you know how to choose a good woman, but she came into your life and she changed your world, because from my perspective, I was like, homegirl's got my back. I was like, and here's something else. Some of you that might not know Megan, if you know Mike, vocabulary is incredible. But hands down, you meet Megan, she puts him to shame. I'm just telling you. Sorry to throw you on. You know I love you, Mike, but she puts him to shame. Game night, we're nerds. We have game night together, have some cocktails. She makes some corrections. Mike, actually, did you know that's an adjective? We didn't use that properly. So anyway, I am, hands down, I've known Mike the longest, but the reality is, you know, I can't look at you because I'm going to burst into tears, but I am so happy you two have met. Megan, I think you're one of the most incredible women I've ever met in my life. I think you're the smartest, the brightest, the most athletic. You guys, this woman can climb mountains, she can mush dogs, she can run, she is a, excuse my language, she's a badass. Hands down. She's a badass. I cannot think of any other woman that can feel like Mike. Yeah, it's like, don't blow it, dude. Don't blow it. I'm telling you right now, you're never, ever gonna meet another human being like this, ever. So, this is, sorry, I'm Team Megan right now, but, so I am gonna personally make a toast to Megan, to both of you, of course, but I want everyone to recognize how incredibly important Megan is. She's hands down awesome. So, cheers to you guys. I love you guys so much, and I don't want to, you know, I'm just going to put it out there real quick. I know you can hold on for a minute. I just want to be crazy aunt, okay? So if you just plan on going that direction soon, you have a full-time babysitter for free. Okay? okay? But congratulations. I love you guys more than anything. You have no idea how much I love you too. So everybody, just let's all celebrate them and have a great time. These are incredible people we're celebrating. So thank you so much for having all of us. And that's the most important thing. Thank you for having all of us and putting us together, because you guys put a lot of work into this. So thank you.
6-ish, at work, and I remember they told me, our coworker that she was working with, dog mushing, told me, oh, there's this super awesome girl, she's gonna come in and be dispatcher, we're fire dispatchers, and in that world, it's like, it's hitting the fan all the time, super intense, you want someone that's gonna come in and be like, with it, and I'm just rolling my eyes, because there's a new person coming in, whatever, and then he told me she's a dog musher, and I'm like, and I did not know he's bringing in this little number right here. I was like, oh, sweet, crackle pop, she is adorable. And also super funny, and we had the best time. Like, when you're working in that environment, you're like staring at a computer for like 15 hours a day, delirious, and we would be like hysterically crying / laughing / not knowing what we were talking about by the end of the day because we were so confused. And she's just like barefoot, sitting on the desk, like, I'm trapped inside of this room, staring at the computer. And it was such a change of pace for her that she was like, what am I doing? Why am I staring at this computer? The money's so good, but the environment's so bad. But the personalities actually are people that I've ever worked with. And listening to her vows today, and she was talking about beast, and I was like, Mike, she is a Scorpio, and she is sassy pants, and I'm a Cancer, and I'm like soft and, you know, like moody, and I was always like, she's so hard-headed, and it's like the thing that I love the most about you. You're like, you know what you want, and you get it, and you go after it, and you are not afraid to do anything that you want to do, and it's amazing, and it's like the thing that I always admired. And then we had this conversation a few years ago because living in Alaska together, we had a lot of conversations of men and dating, and she had several relationships that didn't work out, and I remember her saying, but she's not going to appreciate me repeating, but I'm doing it anyway, I don't care, in this microphone. She said, I don't know if I will ever find the person that's meant for me, and I might just be meant to be alone my whole life. And I remember this conversation, and I was like, I was so sad, and I was like, of course, you know, like I always just had the most hope in the whole world. And then I remember when you told me about Mike, I was like, oh my God, please be that person, because I just wanted it so bad. And I just remember having this conversation feeling like hopeless, like you were at a point where you were like, I don't know, like tipsy in the microphone. And I don't know you, Mike, I literally just met you about 2 hours ago. But I know that if you love this woman, that you're amazing, and I know because she's obviously one of the most lovable people in the entire world, but also that you are probably super lovable as well. And I don't know you, but I'm sure that I will come to love you, and when my children may be a little bit older, I will come and visit you, spend time with you. But I think about it all the time. I think about the conversation that we had, and you saying, I don't know that I will ever even have a person that I can be with. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you have a person. I'm so excited. And I'm so happy that you guys are doing this and that you are going to try to rock it for the next 60, 70 years together, because it is insane, but fun. That's it.
And how for a lot of folks, friends can come and go in your life, and I've certainly had friendships like that, but I'm so grateful to have had Megan for a friend as long as I have, and to be here at her wedding. And it feels like we got to like start her off in her little younger self, and this feels like such a beautiful way to like pass her on to the life that's awaiting for her. And to see all the friends and family on Mike's side and the friends and family that she's made in her adult life is so beautiful and precious, and it feels so comfortable to see her life like this and to know that she's going into good hands in her adult life. And to be here to celebrate that, to celebrate the love. And Mike, I got to meet you, a few months ago when you came to Minneapolis, and you know, when you meet somebody when you're such a like tiny little baby and you spend so much time with them and they're like your best friend when you're younger, you have really high expectations for whoever they're going to decide to spend their life with. And we got to have dinner together. I remember we were talking about like the Women's World Cup or women's soccer or something like that. And he was like, I'm like kind of ultra feminist and I work at Planned Parenthood and like teach sex ed. So I have like especially high expectations for who's going to be in my best friend female's life. And I was like, okay, yes, no, he's passing the test. This is really good. Okay, this is great. And that was like a, you know, whew, okay, I approve. And so I'm just grateful to be here today with all of you all, especially with Migo, and to meet Mike's family and friends, and to celebrate all of this love is really wonderful. And that's all I have to say.